Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the second episode of this mini-series, Chelsea FC PvP, player v player. I still don't really love it, but what can you do? What can you do? If you have any better names for this little mini-series, please comment them down below, as Chelsea FC PvP doesn't really have the ring to it as I'd hoped. But anyway, let's just get on with today's video. Today is Timo Werner versus Tammy Abraham. Actually no, can we switch that? Tammy versus Timo. Starting off, we all know Tammy Abraham came through the academies. He's been at Chelsea since the age of, is it 6? 5? 5, 6, very young. And I don't know how you can recognise a future Premier League footballer at the age of 6. Surely they can barely kick a ball properly. They can surely not even be able to get the ball off the ground. However, after numerous loan moves, I think he went to Bristol, went to Swansea in the Premier League, didn't do great. They got relegated, I'm pretty sure, while he was there. I think he went to Aston Villa as well, got them promoted to the Premier League, and then last season he was at Chelsea. He was Chelsea's top scorer. He had a very good season under the circumstances, and Lampard was in charge. And this season is his second season as a Chelsea boy, but his third, I guess, in the Premier League if you count the Swansea season. But he didn't really do much, and they got relegated. And similarly, we all know Timo Werner's past. He came in from RB Leipzig after a £45 million release clause was activated by Chelsea quite a few months ago. I think it was more like not March, maybe April. We activated it. He joined in the summer. I remember he just ignored his RB Leipzig squad, just said, nah, sorry, I'm not going to be doing the rest of the Champions League with you, although you did get to the semi-finals, because I'm going to be training with Chelsea. Let's start off with appearances. So Tammy Abraham has had 9 appearances with 7 games coming off the bench, compared to Timo Werner's 16 with 3 coming off the bench. This means that Timo Werner has been involved in every single game this season, despite 3 coming off the bench, but 16 he started. 19 games so far, or I'm recording this while there's only been 19 games. This is the this is a little mini series I've created, just comparing some of Chelsea's key players to try and find out who's really had the best first half of the season. I know by the time you're watching this, it wouldn't be 19 games played, but still, it's going to be similar. So without further ado, let's get into it. All these stats are from whoscored.com, so thank you very much for providing. They didn't sponsor me or anything, I just looked up their stats. Thanks for counting all the statistics this season, Who Scored. However, if you look at the actual minutes Timo Werner has played this season, 1400 on the dot so far, 19 games in, and he's been involved in every single game of the season. That's less than Mason Mount from last episode, who's involved in 18 games. So you can definitely see that if you do 19 times 90, the maximum amount of minutes he could have played, excluding injury time. So it could be more, it could be up to maybe like 100 more. It's 1,710. So he's been involved in a lot of the minutes this season, but not really as many as Mason Mount. However, it does seem like he's been involved in a lot less. But I do guess that's down to the fact that Lampard was playing him at left wing for half the season, or half of the season. So like I just said, Timo Werner has played 1,400 minutes this season compared to Tammy Abraham's 894. And when we get onto the goals just the goals, it becomes a lot more clear who's the lethal finisher at Stamford Bridge. So now getting onto the goals, Tammy Abraham has scored 6 goals this season. He's our top scorer in the Premier League, and Timo Werner, despite playing almost double the amount of minutes, 900. No, he's played 500 minutes more, which is like 11 games. No, not. What am I talking about? That's like 6 games, 6 more games. Despite playing 6 more games on average, roughly, than Tammy Abraham, he's still scored 2 less, and he's only halfway through the season with 4 goals as Chelsea's striker. However, yes, like I said, Lampard has played him at left wing for very many games, just because I think Christian Pulisic was injured. I can't really remember, but that's the only reason why I think he would play him at left wing. However, it all does come swinging back in Timo Werner's favour when you look at the assists. Tammy Abraham has only managed 1 assist this half a season compared to Timo Werner's 4. So he's a lot more, I wouldn't say, I don't know, how do you say it? He's a lot more involving with his teammates. He's got 3 more assists, and I guess maybe that's just because he's been playing left wing. He can fizz it across for someone to latch onto. I don't know. He's very fast as well, Timo Werner. He's a lot faster than Tammy Abraham, despite Tammy not being slow. But if you look at goal involvements, goals plus assists, Timo Werner's only got 1 more, 4 goals, 4 assists. That's 8. He's only got 1 more compared to Tammy Abraham's 7, 6 goals and 1 assist. So I do think Tammy Abraham is on top so far, just because of the minutes he's played and the goal involvements. Especially as a striker, you want them to score more than assist more. Okay, so now on to shots per game, and this is actually a bit disappointing. No wonder we're in 9th as I'm recording this. Tammy Abraham, one of our top scorer this season in the Premier League, he's only had 1.9 shots per game. That's exactly the same as Mason Mount, who's played in our midfield and only got 2 goals this season. I guess this does show that Tammy Abraham is a lot more lethal. I keep using that word, ruthless. He's a lot more ruthless. He's a bit of a more natural finisher than Mason Mount, Timo Werner. As Timo Werner's had 2.2 shots per game, despite only scoring 4. I did actually forget to mention, before shots on target, or shots per game, it's yellow cards, and both have had neither. Both have had 0. Both Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner have both had 0 yellow cards this season. Showing their, I guess, I don't know the word, I can't remember the word. It's like nicety? No. Sportsmanship. Showing their sportsmanship, neither had a yellow card this season. Okay, so now on to pass percentage. And if you guessed, Timo Werner, he's got more assists, 3 more assists than Tammy Abraham to be exact this season. You'd expect his pass percentage to be higher, right? If you guessed that, you are correct. Almost by 8%. Tammy Abraham's got a pass percentage of only 71.4, which definitely shows, like outlined in highlight or whatever the saying is, what he needs to improve on his game. 71.4% pass percentage, that is not good. So only 71.4% of his passes actually reach the opponent's feet. And compared to Timo Werner's pass percentage, it is 79.2, which is a lot higher. I'd probably rather that be a little bit higher, but I guess it's a lot better than 71. So now on to aerial duels won per game, which it's a massive, it's huge. The difference between the two is humongous. Tammy Abraham, I think he's 6'3", but with the hair 6'5", so you've got to include the hair. Timo Werner, I think, is just 5'11", so there's a big difference, or quite a large difference in the height differences, and that really shows. Tammy Abraham has won 2.3 aerial duels per game compared to Timo Werner's 0.1. He wins 0.1 aerial duels per game. What are you gonna do with 1/10 of an aerial duel? Like, you can't score with 1/10 of an aerial duel. Like, what are you meant to do with it? Anyway, so on to man of the matches, the penultimate statistic. Tammy Abraham has had 2 man of the matches this season, compared to Timo Werner's 1, which, if I remember correctly, it was against Southampton, where he let the ball run through his legs, turned a few defenders inside and out. It looked like he had left it too late, and then managed to drag the ball back across his body, across the goal into the far left corner. And I think that was the day. Did he get a hat-trick or did he get 2? Well, I think he got man of match that day. If I also remember correctly, I think that's the day Chelsea drew 3-3 with Southampton. So, didn't quite do enough that day. Okay, so now lastly onto match rating. Probably the most important one, and as we saw last episode, Mason Mount has the highest match rating out of any of the Chelsea players so far this season, and it is very close. Tammy Abraham has got a match rating of 6.94, which is quite high, but also should probably be better. And Timo Werner has got a match rating of 6.84. This is averaged out across each game, so there's only 0.1 in it, showing that they're both doing similar things on the pitch. I guess they've got similar outputs in goals, not very similar in assists. But now it is time to choose who I'd rather, and I'd also be interested in who you think has had the better season, relying on these stats. So I'd personally go with Tammy Abraham purely because he scored more goals in less minutes. That's literally the reason. He's got less assists, but as a striker, you probably want them to be scoring more goals than getting assists. Yeah, I'll take a striker getting assists. I guess Bobby Firmino does it brilliantly. He's not really a striker though. He's more like a he's not a number 9. He's a false 9. He's false 9, that's the word. That's the phrase. So yeah, just purely because of the more goals in less games and minutes, I'd go with Tammy Abraham. Make sure you comment down below who you think's had the better season so far this season. I'll reply to all of them. I'd be very interested to see who you think. Hopefully Timo can get his career turned around. I wouldn't say his career, but his season turned around by Thomas Tuchel, who's come in very recently. For me, he came in yesterday. For you, probably a few days ago, or maybe even like a week ago. I don't know when I'm uploading this. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos I upload if you turn on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.